What is up, everybody? Bootman here, and we're back with another Marvel Snap video. And in this video, I wanted to talk about probably one of the number one things that has helped me reach infinite every single season that literally no other creators are talking about. It just hit me. I had this epiphany while I was out of town on vacation. I'm like, you know what really helps me out a lot hitting infinite? This thing. And nobody talks about it. So I want to share it with all of you lovely viewers. We're going into the new season, so this can help you a lot. And the cool thing is, it works with a lot of Pool 3 cards, all right? And I'm currently ranked 126, so I know just a little bit of what I'm talking about hitting infinite. But before we get started, if you're new here, hi, my name is Chris. I also go by Bootman. If you love Marvel Snap as much as I do, make sure you subscribe, ring that notification bell, join our awesome community. I like to, review decks, discuss strategy. I'm here for the competitive aspect mainly of Marvel Snap. I like helping people reach infinite. Now that we got battle mode coming out, I'm gonna be breaking down a ton of different strategies when it comes to competitive play in like tournaments and stuff like that. So you don't wanna miss it. Make sure you subscribe, ring that notification bell. We also have an awesome Discord community linked down in the description below. And follow me on Twitter at BootmanMSTZ. It's linked down below because every single season I am doing giveaways for the season pass. So if you wanna get a free season pass and enter that giveaway, make sure you follow me on Twitter. You gotta follow me on Twitter if you want to be part of the giveaway, all right? So yeah, let's get started. So like I said, this is one of the number one things. I don't see anybody talking about it. I don't know if they don't utilize it as much as I do, or, it took me a minute to realize that this was really helping me. I was just thinking about it, I'm like, huh, this actually helps me out a lot, because here's something I've been thinking about as well that I want you all to think about is when you're on Twitter or you're watching YouTube videos and people show the deck that got into infinite, right? How are we really gauging that? You know what I mean? Where is that window? So let's say I'm rank 99 with 9 cubes. I only need 1 cube to hit infinite. If I all of a sudden switch decks, just do a meme deck, right? And I hit infinite, can I say that that's the deck that got me to infinite? You know what I mean? I'm not saying anybody does that, but I want you to think about that, all right? Because a lot of us, and a lot of other creators make these videos, like there are certain decks, there are main decks that we use to reach infinite, but I just want you to start thinking about when somebody says, this deck helped me reach infinite, how long were you using it? Well, how much success were you having it? Like, did you use it for the last 5 cubes? Did you use it for 10 ranks, 20 ranks? Things like that, because that's kind of what I was thinking about when it kind of dawned on me, something that's really helping me reach infinite. Now, all the other things that we've discussed before in the previous videos and that other people discuss as well are still extremely valuable. Like the number one thing is cube management. Your cube management is way more important than your win-to-loss ratio, okay? You can lose 7 straight games at 1 cube apiece, win 1 8-cuber, and you're up, all right? So always remember that, all right? I will do more videos, hopefully discussing some cube management, because it's something I was thinking about a lot too while I was playing, while I was out on vacation as well. Like there's certain decks that I use where I just bounce, I just get out of there super quick, and it helps me get into the next game, seeing my opportunities, all that stuff. So anyways, now you guys are like, okay, Chris, shut up. What is this tip? What is this amazing tip that you have? The tip that I have that has helped me so much, let me switch views for you, okay? It's locations, okay? So every single week, we have a featured location and a hot location, all right? And I forgot how many days it is. Like, isn't one like 2 days and one's 3 days, or they're both 2 days, or it's one 24 hours? I don't know. But what I was realizing, and I was going through my old content is, and these videos don't perform, by the way. So a lot of you aren't watching them, or the YouTube algorithm isn't promoting them. I won't blame you for them. But I've seen other creators just stop making videos on like the hot locations and featured locations because they don't get as many views. Well, I'm here to tell you, this is one of the best ways to rank up, all right? Every single season I've played, there has been a location where I just found an ideal deck to play, and I just power leveled through it. I said, okay, here is the strategy, here is the deck to use, and I'll gain 10 to 20 ranks with it. Like, it is bonkers. I've done this every single season, I think. all right? So I wanted to run through them real quick, and I'll kind of mention the decks that I use or the strategy I use so you get an idea, but obviously these are always changing every single week. You're gonna have to experiment, see what deck is just like overpowered or broken with that location, and then just grind. Like find some spare time on the weekend or at night after work, whatever it is, and just grind. Find what it is and just go crazy, all right? So Bar Sinister, it was last season or the season before. Bar Sinister was the hot location, and I made a video on this, I was using a destroy deck with like Venom. It had Venom, Absorbing Man, Death, and Taskmaster, all right? And I don't remember the exact strategy I was using, but I was going into Bar Sinister when I could, having Venom just go nuts, right? Like just eating himself over and over and over, getting buff, and then you could drop like Taskmaster, or you could drop like Taskmaster and then Absorbing Man, you get a free death, so many things, and it was just broken. There was just so much power across the board, all right? But once I realized that worked and that people didn't really have a counter for it, I was like, cool, and I just went nuts with it. I just kept playing that deck over and over and over. I looked for this opportunity to arise. If it wasn't there, I left. If it was, I stayed there, all right? The next one was Luke's Bar. By the way, part of this is like you get featured locations. But also, these first three locations I'm gonna go over with you, these were all like primarily pull 3 decks. This one, I mentioned Absorbing Man, which is now downgraded. It was downgraded, right? It's a pull 3 card now? Yeah, so you're fine. You're good, all right? But a lot of these are just destroy. Well, the first 2 are, okay? Next one was Lamentis 1, all right? This one actually used Death and She-Hulk and Infinite. I made a video on my She-Dub deck, okay? So that deck, I believe it opens it up with 7 turns because you could use magic, okay? But with Lamentis 1, you're basically getting a free death, and then like if you have all the cards you need, you know what I mean? Like ideally with the She-Dub deck, you're able to drop, because it has Moon Girl as well, you're able to drop 2 She-Hulks and an Infinite on the final turn. So you could pretty much, if you have the cards in your hand, you could just go nuts with it. You could just, on the last turn, on turn 7, you just skip your turns. On turn 7, you're dropping 2 She-Hulks and an Infinite, because you skip turn 6, you have 2 0-cost She-Hulks, and you have an Infinite, you're spreading 40, then you have a Death, okay, that was basically free. This this location too, now, if it pops up, and I don't know, so this was a featured location, so if it pops up as a hot location, I've had it come up a few times since I got Null. Null is huge, that's a card that you gotta pay for right now. Right now it's Series 5, it might drop down to Series 4 next month. But anyways, I grinded like 20 ranks using that strategy. I was just going nuts. And like I said, if the cards weren't there, if the opportunity wasn't there, I would leave. Like if Lamentis popped out and then it destroyed my deck and then all the little cards came out and it wasn't what I needed, I just left. I was like, okay, cool, on to the next one, right? Because like I said, you can lose 7 1-cubers in a row, win an 8-cuber, and you're up, all right? By the way, real quick, like sometimes I skip over stuff, but I think you guys mostly know the locations. Bar Sinister, if you don't know, when you play a card here, fill this location with copies of it. So what I was saying with like Venom, so Venom, he drops down, and like with Bar Sinister, sometimes it gets confusing, but you could drop a card, drop a second card, right? And what is it? The first card fills up, then the next card comes out. So you could drop a card there, right? And then you could drop Venom. So that card fills up. Let's say it's Nova, okay? So it has 3 Novas on Bar Sinister, okay? Then Venom pops up. Venom eats it, okay? And then he just keeps eating himself because he fills up and stuff like that. So that's Bar Sinister, fills the location. Lamentis, draw 3 cards, destroy both decks, okay? So that's why Death gets so low. It destroys all these other cards. You see what I'm saying? So the next location, this is actually the one, you guys, on Twitter, man, if you follow me on Twitter, I've had such a headache lately. Just everybody's like complaining about broken cards. And by the way, like I might make a video on this, like quit complaining, okay? Quit complaining about the cards you don't have. If you're going into the new season and you're wondering why you're not hitting Infinite, it's because you're just so focused on the cards you don't have. Figure out what you do have and make it work, all right? Quit complaining, and nobody wants to hear it. Just figure out a way to make it work. Because this season, I hit Infinite with just completes Series 3, except for like, I think the only card in that deck that wasn't Series 3 was, actually there was 2. There was Helicarrier and Agent Coulson, okay? But anyways, on Luke's bar, this strategy would have worked with just your typical Moon Girl Dino deck. So Luke's bar, when you play a card here, return it to your hand. And this is something that I learned, here's a funny story. I actually reported it as a bug to Second Dinner when I was still like kind of new, and I was so furious because like, I thought I had the game won and the person did this to me. I don't know if it was intentional or not, but anyways, Luke's bar, when you play a card here, return it to your hand. Well, the maximum amount of cards that you can have in your hand is 7, all right? So if you're playing this location, your opponent keeps putting cards down and they're bouncing back to your hand, but if you're playing a hand-sized deck, one that draws cards, one that has like Moon Girl, Agent Coulson, Agent 13, Sentinel. Sentinel doesn't really work though. You need something that's gonna draw multiple cards. If your hand is full, cards stay at that location. So, like I said, like I thought it was a bug. I'm like, what the heck? This person just beat me? Like, why are their cards still there? It's because they filled their hand. So when Luke's bar was the hot location, like nobody was using this strategy, and best of all, nobody was expecting the strategy. I was using my Agent Dino 2.0 deck, and I was getting a free Luke's bar. It was just absolutely free. They wouldn't play into it. They didn't know what was going on. Turn like 4, 5, 6, whatever it was. Or I would do it like early and then they just didn't have a deck that could keep their hand at Luke bar. So it was basically winning a free location. Now I could just put 2 dinos on one location and just completely win it. But this location got me to infinite. I believe I did like the last 10 ranks this season on Luke's bar, just in that 24, 48 hour period, okay? The last one, which really made me think about this, was just this last weekend when Plunder Castle was the featured location. Brand new location, only cards that cost 6 can be played here, okay? Now, this deck, a lot of you don't have, all right? It was a Galactus null deck, okay? But I'm just using this as an example, so don't go in my comments complaining like, oh, I don't have those cards. I'm just using it as an example. I saw the opportunity, I ran with it. A lot of other people figured this out, but if you ramped up to Galactus and you had null, all right, you could drop Galactus on Plunder Castle turn 5, and then you drop null turn 6. So if you had Electro, Galactus, and null in your hand, you could pretty much snap early on. Usually you were only getting 2 cubes, but you were like, you were gonna win. You were gonna get those 2 cubes. And hold on, I'm gonna open up my game real quick. I probably should have showed this at the beginning. But anyways, it was just nuts. I just kept playing, and then like I wanted to test out different decks. I got a couple new cards, which I'll mention in a future video. But I wanted to test them out, but those cards weren't 6 costs. So I was just like, okay, I guess I just gotta run Galactus and Null until the end of this. And I power ranked, and like, check it out. So here, can I put this here? There you go. So yeah, like I'm sitting at rank 126 now. Like I was at like 115 before Plunder Castle started. And like I was out of town on vacation. A lot of people were like, oh, you're still working on vacation. You're still around. Like we were just hanging out. Like when we go on vacation, we just hang out with family. And most of the time we're just sitting around like talking and chilling because our family lives in another state. Me and my girlfriend's like, why do you guys need to know? I don't know, whatever. I'm transparent about my life. Our family lives in another state. We visit them like once or twice a year and we just hang out. We just sit there for a few days, hang, talk, go out a couple times. Anyways, so like I'm sitting there chilling and just, and I could do it mindlessly, by the way. So that's the other thing. You can just mindlessly play Galactus and Null on Plunder Castle, all right? But anyways, I want to make this video, it's a little bit longer than I was even expecting, but you guys, pay attention to this. When the new locations come out, okay? A lot of them are data mined too, so you can start planning ahead, all right? But just start thinking about it, see what's working, browse around on Twitter, you guys, and find the videos. I don't know if the algorithm is not pushing them out, but creators are making videos about what decks work. Some of you are watching them because I immediately see them coming out, like TLSG, or somebody else will make a video, and I'm like, oh, okay, they watched your video, all right? But that's another thing. Watch those videos so you know what other people are gonna be playing and stuff like that. But yeah, this is going to help you. This is gonna help you in the next season. You find the right decks to use and you just go nuts, all right? Each of these locations that I just showed you, easily easily, within those 24 to 48 hours, got me 10 ranks, okay? So if you think about that, in a month-long period, we're having, like if the season's 4 weeks, we're having a hot location and a featured location every single week. That is 8 opportunities to grind levels. And then in between that, you can use meta decks. So it's kind of interesting, I'll end on this. I complain about these locations a lot. I complain a ton. Like, I just feel like I just don't wanna play because you have to use specific decks. I don't like that. I like when there's just no hotter featured locations. I can just use whatever deck I want to, right? Like I was saying with Plunder Castle, like when that popped up and I'm playing a deck with no 6 cost, like I lose a location. You know what I mean? But as I think about it, like these have really helped me hit infinite, all right? So I really hope that's helped. Search them out. I don't do videos on the locations anymore either. Like I'm one of those creators. So like maybe I'll do some in the future, but you guys gotta like engage with it, like it, leave comments, share it, or those videos just don't get views and I'm not gonna make them. Like I'm not gonna waste my time making videos that nobody watches, you know what I mean? But hopefully overall, just understanding what I'm saying when it comes to these locations and the strategy behind them, it'll help you reach infinite in this new season. All right. But anyways, that's all I got for this video. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you're new, subscribe, ring that notification bell. All right. Join our awesome Discord community down in the description below and follow me on Twitter at BootmanMSCZ if you want to be part of the monthly giveaways for the season pass. All right, I got one more video that I'm recording immediately after this, all right? So stay tuned. But until then, have an amazing rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next one.